Hi, Scorpio, and welcome to my channel. First and foremost, I'd like to start the same way I've started this round of readings, which are my first ever. This is a very new channel, by saying the same thing that I said to the other signs, which is I'm really sorry. I truly apologize for the lack of professionalism that this setup may convey at this time. I am absolutely aware of it. I'm a little bit ashamed of it, but not really, because I actually felt like there was a big call for me to start, even if I'm not properly set up yet. I am working towards stepping up my game, and if any of this reading resonates with you, if anything you find useful, I would very much appreciate a like and a subscription to my channel, because that would be an indication for me that indeed I should continue into this path, and I will definitely invest more into making this a little bit more aesthetically pleasant for the eyes. I understand that this is going to be a bit annoying maybe, because I will be at some point moving my camera like this, like I'm showing you right now, so that I can actually give you a full overview and explain more about the cards that are coming up for you. So since we're at it, here is your whole spread, except for a few cards that I will show you later on when I'm done with this part of the reading. But before we get into it, last thing I'd like to say is since this is a very new channel and I have a bit of a different way to read compared to other tarot readers, if you don't mind checking out my short video that I put at the very beginning on the channel, because that's where you'll find an explanation of who I am and what I do. And basically, it can be summed up by saying that I am an intuitive reader, but what I do in my readings is to blend a lot of astrology in it, because astrology is what I do and breathe and live on my daily life. And I believe that both the tarot and astrology can give very profound insights. So I thought, why don't I mix them up, since these are my two big passions? And so here I am and trying this out. So let me know if this is something that you like. If you have any comments, please let me know. Put it in the box below. And yes, we can start with your reading. So, Scorpio, where do we start? I wasn't expecting anything less, I have to be honest. I'm familiar with the sign of Scorpio. I have quite some resonating parts in my chart with the Sun of Scorpio, and so I know that it can be a very intense sign, as you know, a sign that feels a lot, a sign that is very passionate, a sign that is very private, and a sign that doesn't want to be bothered because he knows what he's doing and he's actually working in his hiding spot, and is just fine with that, because that's all it needs, to be focused and on the things that he really wants to do. And so it's a wonderful sign in terms of intensity. It's, just like any sign, just like anything in life, we all have our light and shadow side. So the caution for Scorpio always is to just not delve too much into those murky waters that Scorpio thrive in. I mean, if there's a sign that can thrive in the depth, that would be you. Just sometimes that leads to behaviors that, of course, can be a little bit too much for other people, because not everybody can function at those depths, and it's complicated. And so that's obviously the side of Scorpio that sometimes can come across as a bit intimidating to others, and you have a bad rap for that, but it's just so not fair. I mean, you guys are amongst the most sensitive signs in the zodiac, and you would just give an arm and a leg for whoever it is that you love. So I believe you're not done enough justice, to be fair, most of the time. So here I am to, give you a bit of a pep talk and letting you know that there's nothing wrong with you. Not that you would ever believe so, but just to let you know, just a further confirmation that whatever comes up in any of my readings would be just definitely reading the energy of the moment. Nothing is always set in stone. You always have free will anyways, but also the energy that I'm reading is very temporary. And it doesn't have to be for the time that I'm actually reading, because this I'm recording in March 2024, but it would be the message for you if you come across it at any other time. It means that is the time for you to listen to it. So Please don't get stuck in dates, and don't think that whatever it's been said lasts forever. That is valid for the good and the bad. And so and also don't forget that this is a collective reading, which means that some of this will resonate, some will not at all, and that will mean that this reading is not for you. So let's go ahead, because there's quite a lot to say here. The beginning of this, I always try to start with trying to understand what is the energy crowning this moment in time. And so what I do, I pull out a card from this deck, and it tells me the planetary energy in this case, but it could be any energy, any astrological energy that is relevant or most present at this time. And turns out, surprise surprise, the energy is the one of Mars. And Mars is actually your traditional ruler. Now Scorpio is ruled also by Pluto, but that came after a while, and so Mars has to be considered as your main ruler in this case, which tells me that your energy is extremely strong in this reading. And actually this same card turned up in the reading for Aries, which turns out to be the other sign that the Mars rules. And so if you have any connection with the sign of Aries, whether it's you in your chart or somebody that somebody that is very present in your energy at this time, a loved one, or a friend, a family, you name it, a co-worker, if you feel called, just go and check out also the Aries reading, because there's for sure there's something that probably resonates with you in that reading as well, because you share the same card and you share the same ruler. So there you go. So that's a hint. Now Mars is a very powerful, it was equated as the warrior, the god of war, and that's why there's also the word here is force. Now Mars is what dictates our, let's say, assertiveness in the world, how we assert ourselves in the world, and that comes all from the sign that Mars is in. Now if in your chart you have Mars in, in Libra, it will definitely behave differently than a Mars in Aries, for example. And so I'm not going to give you a lecture now in astrology, but it's important for you to see also where Mars is in your chart, so that you can perhaps understand a bit more about the way you act in the world, because that's what Mars is all about. And so that's just a little input to look into something else. But in respect to this specific reading, please note that these are normally, for me, very general reading. But in your case, in this case, I just cannot help but see that there is sort of a narrow focus on if not one relationship or one single significant other, is definitely into relationships and how you approach relationships, how you face people, how you behave with them, how they behave with you. It seems to be a whole lot about that, and for sure this can be applied also to other areas of your life. But I'm not gonna lie, I mean, there's a whole lot of cups in this reading, and even if I'm an intuitive reader and I would like to keep things very open and very broad, at this time my attention is really called to the area of relationships. So if relationship is not what you're after, maybe this is not the reading for you, not at this time at least. But please check me out in any other readings, because this may not be intended for you, but for somebody else. And so why am I saying this? I'll start by saying that the reading starts with the Two of Cups. Let me just move this, and so you're going to have a look at your cards also while I'm talking to you. So it starts with the Two of Pentacles, it goes into the Two of Cups, and then it goes into the Three of Cups, and then the Five of Wands. Well, first and foremost, we have two twos, one next to the other, which means, the work that you need to do on yourself in order for you to actually expand in the areas of the suit that the card is is in. So in this case, the Pentacles and the Cups. So that's why I'm saying there could be an aspect of also working on, more of your assets, your practical assets. But you will see later on during the reading that the suit that is most present is the One of Cups. And so I'm leaning to say that it's probably mostly related to your heart at this time. Now, the two Pentacles, also the image would show it. It really means that there's a need for balance. You need to balance a few aspects of the self. You need to juggle obligations. There's a need for balance overall, and there seems to be a need to find some kind of harmony in a specific area of your life. And so if we're going with the relationship one as an example, and as the most prominent one in my opinion in this reading, then I would say that probably this is indeed somebody that is close to your heart. If you're familiar with the concept of soulmates, even twin flames if you wish, but more so soulmates, knowing that anybody can have multiple soulmates, which doesn't mean that it has to be somebody that we have an intimate relationship with. It could be a close friends, it could be family members. So it could be anything related to relationships in a broad sense of the word. But it also, I see there that, we go from the 2 to the 3 of Cups, and the 3 of Cups is all about cooperation. It's about the beauty of being able to rely on others, knowing that the people are there for us, the harmony that you seem to be seeking at the very beginning of this reading with the 2 of Pentacles. And then right after that is the 5 of Wands, which is the quarrels, is the kind of annoying things that come up when there is disagreement, when, that bickering, that sort of people, like people just standing up and getting at you in all sorts of ways that could be annoying for anybody. But a Scorpio wouldn't take it very lightly. A Scorpio would make a point to cross the T's and dot the I's, as you say. But anybody would be annoyed by 5 of Wands can be a bit of an intense energy, just to speak of intensity relating to your sign, and the Wands being this, the symbol of fire. That's what it looks like some fiery kind of conflict. Now, the thing that I would like to look into, and I'm trying not to get very literal about the cards, because that's never how I read my cards. But again, if anything pops in my mind, whether it's literal or not, I'm just gonna say it. It's that you have this King of Swords right here coming up on the second row. So you have the King of Swords, and then you have the 10 of Cups, the Fool, the 8 of Swords, and have the Page of Cups. Now, one disclaimer is I generally do not read reversals, because I don't necessarily see the point in it, unless I feel called, if I feel that that's actually the right way to read them. And in your case, I must say it's been the case. And in all fairness, I usually put all of my cards on the upright before my readings. And so whenever they come in the reverse, I make a point to at least pay attention and see how I feel about them. Now, I'm not going to say surprised, because it can happen. But I was a little bit, definitely my attention was called by the number of cards that have come in the reverse. And that what stresses even more this Martian energy, this strength, this intensity, this scorpionic vibe that when applied in not the most comfortable ways, then it can, result in this. It can result in a whole lot of stuff that doesn't quite go the way we would like to, because definitely it's not the intention. Nobody's mean. It's more so about how we apply ourselves into the world. And so I just kept my reversals in this reading because I find them relevant to the point, which is that whether it's you or somebody in your life that is prominent in your energy that shows up as the King of Swords, there is a sort of approach taken in the sphere that we're talking about, whether it's relationship or not. There is quite logic, quite almost to the point of being blunt in some way. So there is a whole lot of good qualities applying to the King of Swords, and it's a brave king. It's courageous. It's a great communicator. But again, like I said, like the light and the shower though applies to everything. And in this case, when I pull this card, it doesn't all not all the cards give me the same meaning every time. That's why we read intuitively. When I pulled this card, the first thing I thought was like, "Whoa, okay, that's a pretty direct way to address life, people in around us. So not necessarily the gentlest way." And what that suggests to me is that perhaps the Ten of Cups reverse and that Fool reverse, all that means is that the possibly was a big potential to actually get everything that you wanted, because that Two of Cups was there. The Two of Cups, you had it, or you have it, and you just need to understand what to do with it, which could also be the meaning of the Two of Pentacles, indecision. The Ten of Cups is available to you, but how are you facing this situation? How are you going about it? What is your communication style like? Because not everybody can be at that level. So that may not be you. That may be somebody that you're dealing with that is actually behaving with you this way, like in this very blunt, perhaps detached, kind of cold way. And you will know which one is which. So just, reverse the roles if that's what you need to do. But the potential for the Ten of Cups, which is like maximum fulfillment, satisfaction, anything that you could wish for, that your heart could wish for, you have it there. I mean, you can't really see it, but there's like a couple hugging in a rainbow and two kids playing and a whole lot of cups, colorful, beautiful, like it's the dream. And it's there for you, but for some reason you can't quite reach it, not at this time, or not in the past, at least in the recent past. And also, when I got the Fool reversed, the Fool is a new beginning, right? But the word that I got when I saw the card reversed like this was like a missed, a false start, exactly. Not a missed opportunity so much as a false start. Like perhaps you tried, you seem to be on the way to get the Two of Cups, like the Ten of Cups with that Two of Cups, but it just didn't quite go as you thought it would, or as you hoped it would. And that possibly have put you in this position in the Eight of Swords, which is when you feel like trapped by your own thoughts. And that suggests that possibly this King of Swords is you, even if you're not an air sign, which the King of Swords is associated with. You're definitely a water sign, so very emotional and less in your head. But especially when a water sign gets all in his head, it just doesn't know what to do with it, because that's not his familiar place to be. He wants to be in the water. He wants to swim in the emotions. And if you don't know what to do with that kind of mindset, you just could be trapped in your own head, not knowing what to do. And this is what the Eight of Swords is all about. And that doesn't even allow you for you to kind of dream and to kind of see different ways, even if you're in your elements here with the Page of Cups. Again, it is reversed. It means that you cannot even be in touch with your own emotions, which is where you thrive in. Your emotions is what you know, it's what you live of. And so this Eight of Swords is probably stopping or refraining you from actually feeling how you normally feel, and you are kind of not disillusioned, but more so the word that would come to mind is maybe disappointed, to the point of like feeling demotivated, a bit deflated. That's what I get from this card combination at this time. So what you would need to do definitely is to really change this perspective that you have in the situation. Now, again, it may not be you, but you are the person that is here listening to this reading, and this is the message for you. So it's required of you to take a different perspective in all of this, because like I said, it is available to you. What you want is available to you. But you got to stop thinking about the fact that perhaps you have missed a chance and an opportunity and something that could have developed. And so kind of drag yourself down and down, just in this sinking feelings of, oh, it was all there and now it's not there for me anymore. No, it's still there. Otherwise it wouldn't show up. It's still there. But you need to change your perspective on how you look at things. Whatever is done is done. You can't change the past. And also, you should stop refraining the changes from coming in. Nobody really loves changes, especially when they don't go the way we would wish them for them to go. I mean, in some respect, in some ways we all have this kind of need for control, some more, some less. But a Scorpio doesn't like to not having things under control, especially, and it's complicated not to know when our feelings are on the forefront. So I don't blame you. I definitely don't blame you. I have a lot of compassion for you, because this is really hard, and sometimes you ever power to stop from this happen. But forget this in depth. It's you that can hold up after having been for millions of times. You actually up. So just advice, because that's what I used to be. I can say is, no matter how you resist meant to be, will come in. How much hurt? It's just reflection. There's also here, a sort of caution about trying manipulation in a negative way, but more so like to become in everything power to the point, just even coming as manipulative, is not what you want at all. I understand, like, the actions are genuine, you suffer, you to fall in, so you're gonna do everything that you. The magician is actually can give life thing, is the creator, is the one that can thing happen. That doesn't mean that you can change others. For example, you can change some the energy that you share with someone. Those cannot, because we carry and other way to cope. So that manipulation and should not be there. You should try, according to words, to possibly embody the energy of the King of, which is that this more calm, as in patient, a bit, you can have the same kind of determination that you can have, but put it out in a way. If you're providing for others instead of against others, or instead of manipulating, this gives a lot of vibes of comfort, security around, and that's probably energy that you're encouraged to in a little bit, because guess what? A new beginning is here, available to you. It's a brand new seed that can be planted and surprise, and that's why I'm saying, I mean, it's really hard to this reading actually have a straight for me and one-way area. What's the new beginning on? It's a relationship. Now, whether old relationship new, that it's something that's going to be different for you, and if you flames are that reflect that's by that, and it's actually something that you need to know that there, and this is what should you to actually adopt a different perspective on everything the way that you have been going about until now, you or the people or the person that you with. Not forget, the roles can be reversed. I'm you because you are the person in this video, but that doesn't mean you're the person this energy or this kind of attitudes. But yeah, let's not forget that there are that needs to be taken, because the next card here is the Queen of Wands. So you will, unfortunately, it's so, but that's the Wands. Now the Queen of It's the creativity, the creation. Equally is determination. The thing is, the reverse. It's there is a jealous being. It's a person afraid to take risks. One thing I forgot to say at the beginning, but gender specific and male, we all have body, both energies. Don't take this. If you're not a man, it doesn't mean you are not the woman. It don't behave like the queen. It could be either, and not gender specific. It's the energy. I have to make that point, otherwise people may just say, "Ah, that's not me." But the energy that is afraid to take risks is just energy that is not totally owned by yourself. So there's a lack of self-confidence, and the Queen of Wands can be fierce in some respects. So when Queen of Energy lacks confidence in herself, very pretty, and Scorpio, what it means to, other people understand, not be nice to them. They will make a point that nothing asserting your boundaries. There are different ways to do the same thing. So then I wanted to make, and as opposed to this kind of energy, the Queen of Wands, what you to do is to actually act with more like the King of Pentacles. Sorry, it's out of a bit like the King of. Just be in your strength, calm your energy, quiet your mind. Try to find a different way to what you want to get. Be a bit more grace. That's what it's needed. As heal energy with compassion, as opposed to mental thoughts and rationality and a bluntness. Like I said, it's a change in perception. There's nothing wrong in it. It's just more so how we present ourselves to others. So when I once I just how can this person, how can my Scorpios can take this energy out, and what can they replace it with? Well, strength came out, which makes a total sense to me. And so the next step was just I just got to the 2 wands, which again highlight in the reverse as it highlights insecurities. Again, we're back to the Queen of Wands. Insecurities, the fear of taking the next step, or being stuck in the past, or just, like sometimes we have this thing that we just can't get over something that has hurt us. And sometimes we just have to make a treasure of what has been done to us, and understand that moving forward, this is what we do not want. So absolutely, I totally get it. But the energy in the whole reading suggests that the advice here would be to actually step out of that, because what you cannot see as different opportunities, or different perspective, or that you see as a lost perspective, then it's not necessarily so. You just need to really give space to your own intuition, to your own guidance, to your inner self, because you would know with the High Priestess in reverse, it means that you haven't listened to yourself enough, or that you're stuck into some patterns that you just cannot get rid of, even if you know that that's not really who you are or who you want to be. And this is what you get if you behave this way. What you get is that you will not accept the loss. You will not be able to heal, and you'll be stuck into grief and sadness in the past, and you just keep playing the roles over and over, what has happened there. And you don't want to stay in the Three of Swords. Nobody does. What you want is to get here. You want to get where your cup is full. It's the big self-love that fills your heart first, and then you cannot pour into the others. I mean, there's no sign that can love as much as you. There are very few signs that can love with the intensity that you do. But if your cup is empty, you won't be able to. So this is your goal. This is your goal, okay? And this is what's in there for you. This and this and everything that's always been there for you. The 2 of Cups, the 3 of Cups, collaboration, the harmony, the Ten of Cups. It's just not going anywhere. You need to reframe a little bit your vision. Okay, so this is the first part of what I have seen for you, but there is something else that I have added just because I wanted to get a little bit more of insight into this. And it is this 5 more cards. I didn't intend to get as many, but they all came out, and so I said, okay, there's a meaning for that. So I'll talk to you through all of them. I just wanted to show you them first, so then I can put them down. So one is the Three of Forces, and it's called also the Bird's Nest. And then you have the King of Keys, the Seven of Forces, Balance, the Buddha Prepares, and the Five of Scrolls, Diversity. So starting with the first one, so the Three of Forces is called also the Bird's Nest. Again, this is another reminder that this reading is probably about, possibly about a relationship or something close to your heart. Because when this card is coming out, it's a signal to focus on starting new things and expanding. And yes, it could be your business, it could be a network of friends, but it could be your family as well. So if, say, there were plans that have broken your heart because they didn't go as expected. Let's say that you wanted to build a family, for example, and now that's the most common example I can find because it's the bird's nest, which obviously kind of reminds of a little family springing up, but it doesn't have to be. But as an example, let's say that that this is what it is. Then it means the nest has to be built. There needs to be some effort involved, and so you need to be open, heart open to the additions coming your way. Now, it could be as little as children that, either that was the plan or the idea, or it just, it was on the way and it didn't happen. And if so, obviously, I can only feel it for you. I can only imagine what that's like. But if that's not the idea, it's also something that can be revolving around the house and the family. So that could be a renovation of your home, or if it's not related to relationship, it could be that you need to make space for the hiring of new employees, or maybe you're just opening up, say, a new business for yourself. You're becoming an entrepreneur, but that requires a lot of effort. In any case, it's a card that indicates expansions, and it tells you that it's never too late to really build up a new network of friends, family, colleagues, whatever it is that is in your mind at the moment. Now, the King of Keys is actually a card that is a bit more entrepreneurial, and that's why I kind of wanted to mention also in the previous card that there could be an element of that, because it's more of an entrepreneurial energy that showcases confidence and perhaps an overly focused attention, let's say, on the work, on the career, and that could be also not be as beneficial when it comes to family and relationships. So the two things can be absolutely intertwined. But it can be very thoughtful. It can be like a perfectly functioning business person in financial matters. It can be the king, but it's not as people oriented as it could be. So you either are dealing with an energy like that, somebody that embodies this energy, or maybe this is just the way things have been handled by you or around you at this time around or in the recent past. And so we just need to pay a little bit of attention of balance between amongst all the areas that are involved in our lives. That it's a bit of the message that I get from this card. But other than that, there's a whole lot of fulfillment. So if career is something that is in your mind and you want to know whether this is a good sign for you or not, this is absolutely a great sign. It's a great card to get for that. Let's not forget a bit of the balance, yeah? And the reason specifically that I'm saying that is because the next card is indeed balance. So that suggests that perhaps there has been maybe an overfocus on other matters that were not specifically related to matters of the heart, and that area of your life can have possibly resented from the lack of attention or nurture or care. And so this is something to pay attention to. Also, when I talked before about the reframing of the energy and how things should be thought over and, maybe put out in a different way that is not as blunt and as, maybe not so gentle as it may have been up until now, well, that lays on this card here. Also, the Buddha prepares. Because yes, this is you see all the people behind the Buddha, they're just waiting for him to give a speech to enlighten them, but he just will not say anything unless and until he's actually absolutely ready to do so, until he understands that he has sat on the thing long enough for him to be sure that he's not gonna lay his flock astray, let's say. And so this is another suggestion that comes out of this specific reading. And lastly, here we have the card of diversity, which means you just don't have to put all your eggs in one basket. I mean, it's time for you to perhaps diversify a little bit where you put your attention. And so then again, we're going back to the same point, which is, hey, it's great to be this guy, but what about a bit of balance in what you do? Maybe that is all you need in order for everything else that you've been wishing for, all of the things that you have been, looking at and wish for your own self, all that 10 of Cups with the 2 of Cups and this Lovers here and the new opportunity coming up. Maybe the only thing you need to do is just really reframing the way you look at things and rebalance a little bit how you take care of all the areas of your life. And that's pretty much what this is all about. And yes, I hope it resonates. I understand that it can be a little bit, I don't know, maybe one can feel a little bit sensitive about these topics, and I try to always to carefully choose my words, because I have a whole lot of compassion for all human beings, let alone the zodiac signs. But yeah, sometimes the energy just shows in a certain way, and it's good to be aware of it. And there's no judgment whatsoever. Like I said, I have a whole lot of Scorpio energy in my own chart, so I would just I would just be unkind to my own self if that was the case. But I hope I have conveyed to you the idea that we can just shine in the world in so many different ways, and this is the message overall for you. Just diversify a little bit the way you do it, and everything will be just fine. You have everything that you want and wish ready for you to happen. Okay, if you've liked this video, again, thanks for putting a like, and please do not forget to subscribe and even share with people. As I said, that would help my channel grow. It's my very beginning, and it will give me the motivation I need, understanding that this actually is of some kind of help and support to others. Okay, well, thank you so much. I'll be posting new videos soon. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you again. Bye.